Oh, yeah.
You can't prove it by the works. But if I came from nothing with no followers, and when I first started speaking, some of you might have been there, at IPE, the first day I declared that I was going to stand for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, there were about 200 people there that day. And when I went out to speak, sometimes there'd be 100.
Yes.
Sometimes there'd be 200. I had nobody around me. My son and my nephew was my security here in Chicago. When I went to New York, my cousin, a female, and her husband would be my security. But I was preaching. All of a sudden, people start coming. I don't think we did the best by the people. We did the best that we could, but we didn't do the best. Because the only way you could do the best is to be on the scene, giving the guidance that is absolutely necessary to nurture people into the faith that they have accepted. But when a man is running all over the planet, I couldn't do that part. But thanks to Allah, for those of you who understand, and for those of you who stood with me. And now when you see people coming, you don't measure my friends and followers by what's in the Final Call building. That would be a serious mistake. You know why? Because everywhere that I've gone, you have never heard me in a speech invite people to come to the Final Call building.
Yes.
Go back. My major speeches. You don't hear me going to church and say to the church, come to the Final Call building. I don't go to Reverend Barrett's church and tell Reverend Barrett's followers, come to the Final Call building. I don't go to Jesse Jackson's followers and tell his followers, come to the Final Call building. I appreciate the fact that you invite me to your church. That's all I need, is an invitation. Because once I get the invitation, I know that what I say in your church will raise the level of consciousness of you, pastor, and your people. My aim is not to take the people from you, pastor. I want you to be a better pastor. But you can't be a better pastor until you have a better understanding. If God has given it to me through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I want to share it with you that you may share it with the people. And so people are coming up, and whether you know it or not, they have a like mind. Go check it out. Go in the street, you go in the church, a man and woman be there singing, shouting. You think that they got the Holy Ghost. They do. And a Muslim sit there talking with him saying, oh man, it's a shame. These people just jumping and frothing at the mouth. Then when they stop jumping and sit down and talk with you, you say, wow, we think alike. How you thinking alike? How did you in the Final Call building think alike with people that have never been inside? It's because the same teaching that is motivating you is also in the street. It's also in the church. That's why preachers now come up and defend me. Because they've been exposed to the word of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And they're growing up in the word. And we're beginning to think with one mind. And that's what got the Jews upset. Because they can't break that unity. I watched them on Channel 5 this morning. Did any of you see it? Jewish program. And they had Clarence Page on. Poor fella. Just need a good spanking. Jews want to know, what is it with this Farrakhan guy? But now, they want to go deeper than what they went before. They want to understand the phenomenon because they've never been able to attack a black leader and the people stand until today. So they want to know what's different. It's time. It's time. And so, beloved, in my conclusion, this man, Master Farad Muhammad, that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us about, I mean, he's a powerful man. I've never seen him in my life, but I know he's powerful because he made the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I've watched my leader, and it's something to see 10 years after he's gone. I'm just learning things that he knew so profoundly that I can say, like John or like one of those disciples, I am not worthy to unlace his shoes. I am not worthy to be the sole of his shoe. I'm speaking of Elijah Muhammad. Man is just too great. And God has made him such, and by his grace, he's making me in the presence of you. And while you're looking at your brother, he's making your brother. He's making me a new sharp threshing instrument to beat up his enemies.
Right.
I'm just telling you that.
Right. Right.
So London won't let me in. But they may find a demonstration in London so large that they'll have to let me in. In a couple of weeks, by the grace of God, I will leave to go around this world talking to Muslims and Christians, black, brown, red, yellow, and even some white. The message that I will give to the Islamic world, I guarantee you, by the grace of Allah, when I come back to America, if Allah pleases that I get back, the Muslim world will be solidly behind me. Listen now, listen now. I want you to think. It's something that the God has put in my head and in my heart that's going to turn the whole Muslim world on. And this is feared. Because when the Muslims are turned on, the whole world better look out. Because those few Muslims that are turned on got the world shook up. The Fedayeen, the Mujahideen, the Hezbollah. See, people that don't care nothing about living. If there's a tyrant, they will strap bombs to themselves and kill up hundreds and die and know they're going to paradise. You say it's fanatic? I don't care what you call it. It'll bring about a change. When you love life to the point where you will allow yourself to be a slave, then you are not worthy of life. But when you love freedom and recognize that only in freedom is there life, only in justice is there life, only in equity is there life, and any life without freedom, justice, and equality is no life at all. Therefore, life must be spent in order to get those three essentials. When a man or a woman get to the point where you're ready to die for what you believe in, then you are ready to get what you want. I say it again, when you're ready to die for what you believe in, you're ready now to get what you want. You want life, but you're too damn cowardly to get it. Talking to you men, because a coward won't get a damn thing in this world. We want to be big men, but you don't want to challenge the big men. You get satisfied with just enough to feed yourself and your family. So you can get a car and a house and a yacht and a baby plane and tell people, yeah, I'm a prominent black businessman.
Yes.
That's the problem with Johnson Publishing. That's the problem with Johnson Products. That's the problem with Motown. That's the problem with black business. You get enough to be comfortable, and if you go any more, they threaten you, so you get satisfied because there's no army there. Just give me a few days. I'll have the army in place. So if you want to become a billionaire, go on and make the money. We'll back you up. You can't do business without an army.